In ancient times in Israel, when judges governed the nation, the people lived in cycles of obedience to God, disobedience, oppression by enemies, and cries for deliverance. It was a turbulent period, marked by instability and trials. The book of Judges tells us, Judges 6:1 says, "The Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord, and for 7 years he gave them into the hands of the Midianites." The Midianite oppression was cruel. They invaded the lands of Israel like a plague of locusts, destroying crops and taking livestock. God's people, once prosperous, now hid in caves and mountains, fearing for their lives and sustenance. In the midst of this chaos, we find Gideon, an apparently ordinary young man, but destined for an extraordinary mission. Judges 6:11 presents the scene. The angel of the Lord came and sat down under the oak in Ophrah that belonged to Joash the Abiezrite, where his son Gideon was threshing wheat in a winepress to keep it from the Midianites. Imagine the scene. Gideon, crouched in a place meant for producing wine, desperately trying to save some wheat for his family to survive. Fear and uncertainty hung in the air like a dense fog. It was in this moment of apparent weakness that the improbable happened. Judges 6:12 states, "When the angel of the Lord appeared to Gideon, he said, 'The Lord is with you, mighty warrior.'" Mighty warrior? Gideon must have looked around, thinking the angel was talking to someone else. His response reveals his disbelief and frustration. Judges 6:13 tells us, "Pardon me, my lord," Gideon replied, "but if the Lord is with us, why has all this happened to us? Where are all his wonders that our ancestors told us about when they said, 'Did not the Lord bring us up out of Egypt?' Now the Lord has abandoned us and given us into the hand of Gideon." Gideon's response echoes the feelings of many of us when facing adversity. Where is God in the midst of suffering? Why do bad things happen if he is with us? But the angel did not come to debate theology. He came with a mission. Judges 6:14 continues, "The Lord turned to him and said, 'Go in the strength you have and save Israel out of Midian's hand. Am I not sending you?'" Gideon, still in disbelief, tries to excuse himself. He sees himself as the least in his family, which in turn is the least in his tribe. How could he be the chosen one for such a grand task? Judges 6:15-16 shows us, "Pardon me, Lord," Gideon replied, "but how can I save Israel? My clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the least in my family." The Lord answered, "I will be with you, and you will strike down all the Midianites, leaving none alive." God's promise is clear and powerful. It doesn't depend on Gideon